Okay, thank you all. Thank you all the participants who joined and today in the Sunday evening. And my name is Raja Kaskurti. I am the TANA Community Services Coordinator. Today we are going to hear from Nunbon Foundation. He's the CEO. One of the person who is talking today is CEO and Chairman for Nunbon Foundation, and also one of the resident speaker expert at Nunbon, V.R. Chinigar. Joining on TANA platform to educate and provide give some awareness to all the community people here. Okay, thank you very much. To start the session by introducing our Telugu Association of North America President, Mr. Lavu Anjay Chaudhary Garu, to say a few words about TANA as well as this webinar. And I would like to say one more thing before Anjay Garu starts. All the advices or any suggestions or anything provided by Nunbon Foundation is explicitly on their own, and it's up to you how you can use those things. And I just want to make sure you are all aware of that. And if you guys have any questions, you can anytime reach out to Nunbon Foundation for any questions or anything. So please be aware of that. Okay, I would like to introduce our TANA President, Mr. Lavu Anjay Chaudhary Garu, to say a few words. Anjay Chaudhary Garu, please say a few words.
Thank you, Raja, and good evening, everybody. So TANA actually is in the forefront to serve the community way back, both the Telugu states and of course throughout North America. We have TANA Foundation to serve the community way back where we came from, in our motherland. We spent around $220 million for past 4 decades and more than $1 million a year. So having said that, we also have TANA Team Square, which is an arm that serves the North American Telugu people in general. Whenever any catastrophe is there, you know that Team Square is there. So that's how we serve for any catastrophic events in US. And also we have another arm called TANA Cares, and this is exclusively to bring all the charitable and service activities other than the catastrophes that are handled by TANA Team Square. So in those, the list are, we have these financial education seminars, tax seminars, food drives, toy drives, EPR workshops, SAT, ACT courses, summer camps, and we have a Balatsuni event. We have much more, and we also have blood drives, bone marrow drives. The list goes on. So in those stream, we try to bring more and more to serve the community, and which really are in need basically. If you see, we have done a lot of immigration seminars as well. So we just pick whatever is needy and then try to focus and bring your attention and to your, in front of you. So let me just introduce Nunbon Foundation, and of course, who are all the core part of this particular event to be here. So TANA, in association with Nunbon Foundation, it's a 501(c) organization doing this information webinar with the goal of helping every family to learn a lifelong skill to make consistent cash flow. So far, Nunbon Foundation educated thousands of people in USA and across the globe. GK, who is the man of today, along with my dearest friend Chinigaru, strategies are followed by various age groups ranging from teens to senior citizens. And this will help all of you to learn how you can have your own cash flow. So I extend my heartfelt thanks to Gopal Krishna GK, Chairman and CEO of Nunbon Foundation, and V.R. Chindi, Nunbon resident expert. And of course, my entire TANA leadership who rendered their unconditional support. But there's a core team that I have to acknowledge and recognize their monumental efforts in making this happen. Raja Kaskurti, our TANA Community Service Coordinator, Satish Komana, our TANA DFW Regional Coordinator, and ofratnaprasad, our TANA Southwest Regional Coordinator. So these are our key people. With the support of them, we were able to get here and provide this invaluable webinar, workshop, whatever you call, in front of you. So without taking much time, once again, welcome, and I wish you all the best to take whatever is useful for you in this great event. And you all have a good day, good evening, and good night. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anjay Chaudhary garu, for nice words. Next, I would like to introduce the speakers of today. I will introduce GK Garu first, and then Ratnaprasad is going to introduce VR Chinni Garu. So let me introduce GK Garu here. GK is Gopal Krishnan is well known as GK. He is the chairman and CEO of Nunbon group of companies, Nunbon Hedge Fund, Nunbon Realty, Nunbon Ventures, and Nunbon Foundation. So basically, Nunbon company is one of the fastest growing company in the private equity hedge fund business, helping high net worth investors. So Nunbon Foundation is the non-profit division of the company to help all members non-bonds. Okay, and all types of investors can get superior investing knowledge from Nunbon offerings. So before becoming the chairman and CEO of Nunbon Enterprise, GK Gopal Krishnan led a huge business segment in Fortune 100 information technology company and overseeing a portfolio of 5 billion and 28,000 employees in 10 countries. And GK, as part of his passion in investing in the financial market the right way, he devised and copyrighted 5 investment strategies called GK strategies. Those are the things Mr. GK is going to share with us in our TANA platform today. For the last 20 years, GK has been sharing his strategies with all friends and families for free and with no strings attached. So there are 100,000 plus non-bonds who follow GK strategies to consistently generate cash flow from the stock market in the most safest way. Thank you very much, GK Garu, for joining on TANA platform to give your valuable strategies and share with all the community people. So I would like to ask Ratnaprasad Gummadi to say a few words about VR Chinni Garu. And Ratnaprasad, are you there?
Yes, Raja. Yeah.
Oh, please go ahead.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Raja, and good evening, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank our TANA President Anjay Chaudhary Garu and entire TANA leadership and Community Service Coordinator Raja Garu for giving us this opportunity to host the Cashflow, Cash is King seminar. And without delay, I would like to introduce VR Chinni Garu. He's on a mission to empower families to achieve their financial goals through fiscal prudence and smart long-term funding strategies. So as a financial coach and planning expert, he helps families protect their children's financial assets and long-term planning while realizing their vision of success. And today, Mr. Chinni Garu is a sought-after speaker and a guest expert who had appeared on television and radio programs designed for financial planning. He's a recognized expert for offering sound advice in every area of personal finance, from life insurance, college education planning, to health insurance, retirement, long-term care, and real estate planning, and wills and trust, and wealth building. So till date, he has hosted and appeared in more than 235 educational webinars, seminars, and live TV shows, and educated thousands of families across the USA. And personally, I am very much interested in learning about this seminar, as right now everyone knows the stock market is at all-time high and the real estate is at peak. So I would like to see different possibilities of investment and get a financial planning ahead. And thank you. And I would like to take this opportunity to introduce Mr. VR Chinni Garu.
Thank you, Ratnaprasad, and thank you, GK Garu, as well as VR Chinni Garu. Thank you, Anjay Garu, for joining. And before we start the session, before we give it to the speaker, I would like to ask all the participants to post any question. If you guys have any questions, please post it on the chat box on the bottom. So once the presentation is done, once the speakers are done talking, so we can go by each question, and then speakers will answer all the questions. Don't unmute yourself when speakers are talking. Please hold on your question, or you can post anytime in the chat box. So thank you very much. It's all up. It's all over to you, GK Garu, and we are Chinni Garu. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. To start with Raja and Ratnaprasad Garu, and yeah, our our friend and current President, TANA President Anjay Chaudhary Garu. This is absolutely a good evening for all of us here. And now TANA is in association with the Nunbon Foundation. And I'm going to leave that Nunbon word to GK. So he's going to explain how to pronounce and what does it actually mean. Now this evening's topic is cash is king, right? Even though cash is not everything, money is not everything, but cash and money has become an integral part of our lives these days, especially in this 20th and 21st century, right? Money is everything, even though we cannot buy, everything with money. So with this money, what we do is, but we at least need some cash for our material needs. So that's the reason we work, or we actually have some business and make some money, have some money, right? So that's the reason that cash is very, very important for us. But here, in order for us to do, we work and we save money, and the saved up money we tend to actually invest or save so that we can make more money. In this journey, we tend to actually put into multiple investment options. And every investment option has its own risk factors, right? You may make money, you may lose money. But at the end of the day, this is our life journey that in this journey, we invest, we make money, we lose money, we make money, we lose money. At the end of the day, at one point of time, we get frustrated. What is going on here? This is my hard-earned money. I thought I'm putting here, and I'm trying to make some more money on my money so that, I can have a strong financial strength or foundation. But that's a journey is going on. And also when it comes to investment, because one needs to kind of understand that, okay, investment is not saving account. Saving is different from investment. You cannot seek a guarantee from investment. When you seeking a guarantee from investment, that's not right. Saving is different, right? But we tend to actually make, and then one of the easiest ways of investing is for our, with the technology, what is availability is stock market. But in stock markets, 95% of the people at the end of the day lose money. Only the 5% of the people make money. Are you in that 5%? Are you making money and losing money? Making money, losing money. In this journey, we have seen a light in the other side of the tunnel. How do we make cash without, going to the traditional way of making and losing. How do we actually make a consistent cash flow? Is there any mechanism? Is there any miracle? Is there any amazing thing? That is what we have this evening. That's why we call it as a cash is king, right? I'm going to be sharing the 360-degree perspective towards the end of the session, but I would like to call and request GK Gopalakrishnan to start with what is this movement? How does it actually started? Please, GK.
Hey, thank you. I'm getting echo. It's okay. That's good now. But Venkateshwara Rao Chinni, I always love to say that instead of VR Chinni, Venkateshwara Rao Chinni, and Mr. Anjaya, Mr. Ratnaprasad, Mr. Raja, thank you for providing this forum so that we can come and share our philosophy with your members, because more and more we share what we are doing, because we are on a mission to impact lives positively. When we started, there were a lot of skeptics, but today we have 100,000 followers who are following our strategies in the most safest way and generating, as Chinni said, cash flow on their hard-earned money. And today, Chinni and I are going to come together to share our philosophy on why everyone should take time to learn the cash flow strategies known as GK strategies, which I devised it back in 2001 after a lot of experience in the stock market, Then for my family, I figured it out a right way, the safest way, slow and steady way of generating with 100% consistency cash flow from the most liquid market called stock market, and particularly US. And now our Nunbons are following these strategies in India also. But as Chinni said, let's start with what is Nunbon. Nunbon is a phenomenon, but it actually comes from a Tamil word which means a friend. Nunbon means a friend. Chinni, how is that? What is the equivalent of that in Telugu?
No, you put me in a question here. Friend is called in Telugu is a snehitudu.
Oh.
So a true friend is, I can say nijamaina snehitudu. And I know all our Telugus, Anjay Garu, from anywhere, anyone, if you want to share about what is friend in Telugu, please share.
Super.
Yeah.
So Nunbon is a true friend, and we have extended that definition to create our vision and mission statements. Nunbon stands for a true friend who always helps others unconditionally, which means we are not expecting anything in return, which is the Nunbon movement. So Nunbon it is pronounced as Nunbun, even though it's written as Nanban, Nunbon. And here we treat human being as human being. We don't differentiate between poor, rich, middle class, male, female, nothing, no gender, no caste, no color. Everybody is Nunbon to us. So we created Nunbon back in November of 2019. That's how we started our company. We created the 501c3 nonprofit called Nunbon Foundation, because the founders, we all believe in giving back. And when you share the knowledge that you have with your community, and when all community members are doing well, not just few section of the society, but everybody, then world becomes a beautiful place. I have seen that. I have a strong relationship to Hyderabad. I studied in JNTU, Kukatpalli, 4 years of computer science, 92 to 96. So I have my roots to our Telugu community. So this is really fitting that I'm here today along with our team members, Katia Patoru and Ram Srinivasan, who are on the call. They'll be answering a lot of questions later on as you have. But today we are here to, again, as part of our Nunbon grassroots movement of sharing the knowledge unconditionally, because it's not going to cost you anything, a single dollar. And our sessions, extensive sessions, are conducted 4 times a year. The next one is coming up on September 18th. So everybody who is interested in learning full-fledged strategies to generate consistent cash flow from the most sophisticated market in the world, US financial market, you should go to nunbonfoundation.org/GK strategies and sign up for the free webinar, because it takes about 10 hours. We have 250 volunteers in US who are going to teach Saturday, Sunday, and then following Saturday, Sunday. And they do live market demos every weekday, 3 times a day. So you are going to be in good company learning that for 2 full weeks. The theory will be on the weekends, and the demos are going to be during the weekdays with the live market. So by the time 2 weeks are done, you will have the full knowledge, soup to nuts, on how to generate consistent cash flow from your hard-earned money, because your money will stay in your brokerage account. Whatever you make is yours. There is no fees that you have to pay to anybody. We are giving the knowledge, and it will be sequence of steps that will be given to you. And then after that, it takes about 30 minutes to 1 hour a week to generate those kinds of cash flow. And I'm stressing on cash flow, not profit, because that is the mindset we need to change in order to generate wealth. So those of you who are in the real estate is based on cash flow. You buy a property like an apartment complex and you make money through appreciation if it happens, but you also make money every month when tenants pay you rent. So we took the same concept of collecting cash every month into the stock market. We have identified 4 assets in the stock market, not the 10,500 individual stocks that are in the market that, as Chinny said, people get into those stocks, they over leverage themselves, they make money, they lose money, but there is no consistency. So when you learn GK strategies by attending those 4 weekends and 2 solid weeks of demos, you're going to learn step by step. First, you buy the asset, and then you rent those assets using advanced derivatives that we will teach how to generate cash on those assets, which you get to keep on the very first day. And then we also believe in protecting what we have. So we buy protection to protect our portfolio from sudden risk in the market. And you learn all these best practices. Yeah, and the good thing is you don't have to know anything about the stock market or derivatives, anything. We start from the basics. A managing director from Deloitte is a volunteer who teaches this course. Another managing director from TCS will be doing the demo. And then you have Katya and Ram who will be assisting with another 200 people. You're going to learn quite a bit. And I think many of you who are on this call may have attended before. You're probably doing it. If you're doing that, we would love to hear your testimony in this call. You can raise your hand at the end. But we have impacted the lives of 100,000 Nunbons in such a short period of time. You can see on nunbonfoundation.org testimonials from several people. So Chinny, let's have a conversation so that it can help our Nunbons on this call. And we treat everybody as Nunbon. So you will see we'll call you Nunbons, because Nunbon, as I said, is a phenomenon. It's a very positive grassroots movement that we have started of imparting top class knowledge, because knowledge is king. If you teach, instead of giving fish to a person, if you teach them how to fish, you have done much more than in impacting their lives in a positive way. That is the mission of Nunbon Foundation. And you will see, I get a lot of questions, Chinny, that why is Nunbon Foundation doing this? What is the hidden agenda? Nothing comes for free in America. There's no free lunch. And we say that, yeah, that is the status quo. That's what everybody thinks. But then there is always a unique way. There's always first of its kind in the world. That is us in this field. Because the founders of Nunbon, we all are individually very wealthy. We don't have to worry about money. And this is our way of doing philanthropic work. Many people go and do volunteer work by giving their time to temples or cleaning the park or assisting old age homes or whatever you believe in. We believe in sharing the knowledge that we have that has allowed us to generate generational wealth. And we believe in growing together. We don't believe in just some section of the people or the society becoming super rich and others are left out. We believe in sharing our knowledge so that anybody can utilize that knowledge, and depending on whatever savings they have, they should consistently generate double-digit returns. And when you do that, every year you make positive return. You don't go negative. Then power of compounding takes over, and then you will see beautiful things happen.
You mentioned a really important point, GK, on this, why right? Why Nunbon Foundation is doing it, why GK is doing it, right? So this is for pretty important. And also we always have some hesitation. It's actually good for the sake, right? Because we don't know what actually people are trying to get into. That's very important to highlight. And to all these, members who actually joined, GK strategies are 5 levels. To make it, a simple, basic strategies, advanced strategies. Internally, basic is level 1, level 2, but not getting into level 1, level 2. I'm just saying for the sake of simplicity, basic strategies, advanced strategies. So GK has been teaching the well-wisher, as a well-wisher of the community on a manual basis for all these 20 years. Now it is a momentum that he thought, and other 2 founders also came into picture. They've actually initiated a non-profit initiation. With that, what GK did was he donated. So remember this, he donated the basic strategies of GK Strategies, his non-profit organization. Now, through non-profit organization, we are teaching, educating families, and it's like no family left behind in the nation. That is one of the objectives. We wanted to reach out to every corner in the country, every family in the country, so they learn, so they get educated, so they can have their own cash flow. There are no strings attached. You're not giving anything to the Nunbon Foundation unless you want to donate $10, $20, but nobody's asking, nobody's requesting. Another thing is you learn, you go home, you open up your own account, you fund your own account, you just follow this rule of thumb. Pretty straightforward, no strings attached. And like GK mentioned, we have an absolute, dedicated volunteers like Ram and Katya and 200 plus volunteers. Right, GK? So that's what I really wanted to highlight this point on,
And the other thing, Kinney, and Nunbon's on this call, for any non-profit organization to sustain, they need to have budget. And Nunbon Foundation teaching GK strategies level 1, level 2 is just one project. There are 34 other projects at a mega scale, just like the president of TANA, Mr. Anjay said, right? TANA is involved in so many charitable activities. Nunbon Foundation also does charity at scale. So we are helping farmers in 5 states in India, including Andhra, Telangana, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka. We have women empowerment projects going on. All of these things you can see on our website. But all of these things are funded. You will not see a donation campaign from Nunbon Foundation, because Nunbon Enterprise, where we have hedge fund, we have real estate fund, we have ventures fund, the profits that we make there, quite a bit of that is donated to the foundation. And that's how foundation runs on its own. And so there's another thing. Many people think, oh, okay, these guys are giving this free to get customers. Well, let me tell you, in a private equity and private fund business, what we have seen is whoever attends our webinars, only 2 to 3% of them would qualify to invest in our funds due to high net worth requirements. Only very high net worth investors can invest. So that's why 97% of the people anyway cannot utilize our paid services. But our mission is to touch everybody in a positive way. So that's why our foundation teaches this strategy, so that you are empowered with a top-class knowledge and you utilize it yourself. It becomes a generational skill, lifelong skill that you can learn. Then you hand it to your kids, grandkids, and it'll all go on.
That is absolutely true, GK. I mean, even you're not eligible or for any part of the investments that Nunbon Group does, but everyone is eligible to learn, this basic strategies, right?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. If you wanted to touch upon GK, can you share your 20 years of extensive research? What is that? This is kind of a curiosity. Even some of those things, you always wanted to listen again and again.
Sure. See, the Nunbon's why when we stress that we make money with 100% consistency, we make that bold statement and we teach people how to do that is because we have seen that ourselves. When people invest in individual stocks, the issue is you don't know what is going to happen to those stocks. There is an inherent risk of individual stocks going to zero. So we cannot put our hard-earned money to any individual stocks that has that risk. So we, first of all, I wanted to find an asset that cannot go to zero ever, okay, no matter what happens. So there are only 4 such assets. Those are called market indexes. S&P 500 being the best because it's $32 trillion market. Next one is NASDAQ, Russell, and then Dow. So we, in our GK strategies, when you learn, you'll see that these are the 4 assets that we acquire. And then after you acquire, it's like, let's say S&P 500. It is made up of top 500 companies in the world. And just by buying S&P 500, you are getting access to the 500 top companies in the world. So if I have $100 million, I put all my $100 million into S&P 500 because it's already diversified across all industries, across all best companies. Now the risk of S&P 500 going to zero is not there. If at all it happens, that means something has happened to this earth. All 500 companies have gone to bankruptcy at the same time, right? So we have eliminated that risk. Now, whatever you invest will always be there. S&P 500 has been in existence for 150 years. Next is just like an apartment complex. Just imagine that when you put your money into S&P 500, it is like buying an apartment complex with 500 units because there are 500 companies. Now, step number 2 is you just rent those S&P 500 asset that you have bought to somebody. And that is what we teach. And when you do that, on the very first day, you're getting the cash flow into your account. All the tenants are paying you cash at the same time. And then you take a certain portion of that cash and you again use derivatives that will teach you to protect your portfolio. So now you can sleep well in the night that first of all, you own the asset that will always be there working hard for you during your sleep also. You don't have to worry about market volatility up or down. You have protection, you have cash flow coming, and that cash is yours on the very first day. And this apartment complex that I'm talking about, S&P 500, has some beautiful properties. One, it will never age. Second, you don't have any maintenance. Third, you don't have to worry about tenants because they're always available, always ready to pay you. And no, if tenants vacate means if one of those 500 companies go to bankruptcy, then the company that manages S&P 500, they will put the other 2 or 5 companies back into the list of 500. So you always get the best. You don't have to worry. We as retail investors, we don't have to worry. So that way, you own top class asset, which is 32 trillion in market value. So in the regular real estate market, if you buy an apartment, buying is very easy, as you all know. Buying a property is very easy. Maintaining it, and then when you go to sell it, that's when all kinds of fees, all kinds of people get involved. You have brokers, you have title insurance, and by the time you close, it takes 60 to 90 days. Whereas here, the asset that you're going to own is just like your 500 units apartment complex, but everything happens in seconds, buy and sell. But we own the asset, we don't sell it, right? We own it, and we just like to collect something beautiful called cash flow. And Chini, because it takes about 10 hours, right? We have you have gone through those sessions, you practice GK strategies, and you have enlightened so many people through, because team, Nunbon's here, we show you how to generate cash flow using your hard-earned money, right? It's an education. Everybody should make your own decision. Investment decision is yours. Our job is to share the knowledge that we have with you. And if you think that is going to work for you, you should use it because it doesn't cost you anything. Knowledge is king, and we are giving it for free as part of our philanthropic activity. And after that, when you generate cash flow, because we believe as Nunbons on enjoying your wealth now versus later. See, many of our families, I have seen a lot of friends who get into this habit of saving, and their quality of life right now, they restrict it so much and they say, I will enjoy when I am 65 or when I am retiring. Right? When I retire, then I will enjoy it. We believe in enjoying at present, right? So when you know how to generate cash using your assets, you put that cash into use to enjoy now, right? Take vacations, buy what you want to buy for your spouse. All those things that generally people postpone, you should do it now. Then we want you to be philanthropic also. When all of us are generating cash flow, if you even donate $5 back to TANA itself, you have thousands of people. If all of you are generating cash flow the way our thing works is with a $45,000 investment, you're going to be making $500 to $700 a month, slow and steady. That's what we teach, how to generate about 500 to 750 with 100% consistency is what you will be making for every 45 to 50,000 investment. So just take $2, $3 or $5 and donate it. You will also feel good that you're impacting the world in a positive way. And that is the only other thing that we ask people, that pay it forward, teach others, and donate and make the world a beautiful place. Because now you're in a position to do that. And we feel proud that we were part of it.
Okay, you mentioned something that actually reminded me one thing here. When you have this strategy, right? You got it for yourself, and then I'm sure you made loads of money on your own strategies. Now you're actually enlightening, kind of showing the light for each and every family. And when you actually talk to me, you mentioned something. Okay, Chinni, how you did, right? Because me personally, I am thousands of miles away from the stock market. Never ever. I knew that only 5% of the people make money in stock markets at the end of the day. 95% of the people lose money at the end of the day. I did know that I got this. It's open secret. Let's know, kind of, hidden secret, right? That's why I never actually thought of actually going in there. But when we actually interacting with, and then I remember you mentioned that, Chinni, you should do it. Chinni, you should. Every time you ask me, I said, no, I'm good, right? So ultimately, me, myself, kind of hypnotized, I can say that word, hypnotized by...
You're Nunbonized, not hypnotized.
Yeah. So, and then I've got it, I'm seeing it in front of my eyes, right? So, money helped and you helped and getting into these accounts, all the stuff, I'm actually seeing the cash flow. But here is the important thing I wanted to share with all the TANA members. Usually what actually happens is, GK, when we actually have these charitable organization, non-profit charity, we have so many volunteers actually help us, right? Because look at this event, we have so many volunteers come together. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to actually talk to the communities, right?
Yeah.
But what actually happens is all these volunteers are super busy managing or coordinating this event. But we actually usually won't be able to take the advantage of what actually we are being sharing. So my request is for all the volunteers out there. First of all, let all TANA members, TANA volunteers get on this, learn and see what actually it is. Right. So usually that's what actually happens. Even when you have a cultural event, right? There are some celebrities come from India, these artists come India. So all these volunteers super busy taking care of, but they're not going to be able to see the actual show on the stage. right? But this is what actually I really want to highlight. This is an opportunity for all our volunteers who are actually spending our own time to the communities and get on this, make our cash flow going so that we can actually do more events, more organizations.
No,
So
absolutely.
this is very good.
Absolutely, Chini. The organizations like TANA, or if you see Sadhguru's Isha Foundation or Art of Living, we'd like them to be in a self-sustaining mode. Their members should generate additional cash flow, should put that back into the organization so that organization doesn't have to charge people, right? They can provide courses for free. So that is our another vision where we want to make a lot of nonprofit organizations self-reliant. And that goes back to Nunbon's philosophy. As you know, we started nonprofit foundation first as part of our journey. Many companies like Warren Buffett's company or Bill Gates Foundation, after they became billionaires, then they opened the foundation. Where Nunbon started with foundation, and then the other parts of the company came into existence. So we are very proud of that. And we have attracted great souls like Katya Patru, Ram Srinivasan, and so many other Nunbons who are volunteers. So Ram and Katya, please start sharing the information about our September session, which already, by the way, thousands of people have signed up. So as part of my, as I was explaining that we are teaching you how to generate cash flow on your assets in the most safest, most easy way, because knowledge is king, right? When you have this knowledge, you'll realize that, yes, I can do this, right? When you have that confidence, that financial freedom feeling will come to you, that I know something, slow and steady, I will get there. Whatever money I have, whether I have 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, you'll be able to generate that kind of cash flow. So then the next thing is, which many people do not protect their family adequately. And going back to our journey of Nunbon, we had no idea who Chini was, right? So when we saw Chini's interview in Shakshi TV, and we were very impressed with how he had this mission of helping others, understanding why everybody should have will and trust and proper insurance for their families. Because many of our families are not adequately protected. Nobody wants to talk about it. So Chini, we saw in a very selfless way, he was educating people how and why they should protect. And then we saw the number one bottleneck that was preventing people from adequately insuring their family was premiums that they have to pay. It's out-of-pocket expense. So many people were not taking that steps. So we thought, okay, let's talk to Chini. And we reached out to him. He never reached out to us, right? Because he also believes in no strings attached policy. And it was a great journey that we started after we convinced him to come to our forum, start educating people as they generate cash flow from their savings. Their savings is intact, which is growing as you make more money from your other jobs, put it into your savings. Now your savings is generating more cash flow. Take that cash flow and go pass the liability that you have in your life to insurance companies, right? Buy nice insurance. Don't worry about those premiums, because it's very important to protect yourself. There's so many products that are available. You should educate yourself. So I'm really glad that TANA is taking that step in truly impacting their members in a positive way by bringing different speakers. Kudos to this leadership team. Amazing. Okay, Chini, so anything else you would like me to cover? I know we have only 5 more minutes. Let's give time to our Nunbons to ask questions.
Yeah, I think, yeah, pretty much we touch upon everything, GK. And just to recap on these things, I don't have any knowledge. I don't know what to do. I don't know about these things. So you are kind of saying that, okay, you don't need any prerequisite to do these strategies on your own, right?
Correct. No, you don't need anything. Just come with open mind, because we have conducted these sessions for teenagers. My son is 13 years old. He knows everything. Is that what? See, just like if you go back to simple example of Google's main page, how simple it is. You just type what you want to search and things come. But behind the scene, it is very complex. But what they have done is they have completely abstracted all the complex things to make it easy for people. And that is what we have done. We have made it very easy for people to understand, but you still have to, learn the basics, then follow the steps. That's all you have to do. You don't have to understand each and everything.
True.
So that's why I can tell you proudly, most of our great students are actually the spouses, right? Now they are empowered at home. Because in our culture, it's lopsided. Most of the males work, and like my wife, she takes care of the house. She is my boss, because that taking care of the house and homemaker is a great service and great job, tougher than ours. But it could be any spouse, right? So if you are at home, just 1 hour a week, take this, and you will see that in few years, your cash flow will be much higher than what the spouse was bringing previously. I've seen this in my life. Right?
That's a bullet point. That's a bullet point. Right in the dot. GK.
So that's why we want to empower families, particularly teenagers. I'm telling you, if they learn, since they have time on their side, by the time they come to upper 30s or 40s, if they start with 100K, they'll be multi-millionaires, because of the slow and steady in a compounding way when things grow. So that's why we really want our teenagers, college-going kids, to learn these strategies and generate their wealth on the side. They can pursue their career, but on the side, let them do this. It just takes 1 hour a week so that they can generate something very, very useful and retire very early in their age, and then pursue their real passion, whatever their passion is.
Yeah. I think that compounding is really a powerful aspect of, especially in the money matters, right? And when JK, when you say that, your 13-year-old can actually do it, it doesn't, to the TANA members, all the listeners, it doesn't mean that, it's not that, okay, a 13-year-old actually really equipped with this knowledge. No. So the GK strategies made it to a level where it is so simple to follow. That's what it means. It's not, okay, you have a higher degree, like a child prodigy or a gifted talented. No, these things are so lightweight, so simple, and just follow. Irrespective, like GK mentioned, right? You mentioned, right? Irrespective of the market conditions, whether I don't know what you call the up, bear or lion. Bull market. Bull market, or what is it, bear market, right?
Bear market,
you don't have to know, or it's going sideways or something, right? Doesn't matter. You can always, every week, consistently, you can make a cash flow, but just following very, very simple. But this is what it is. In order for you to learn that, you would have to spend how many hours? 8 hours, right, GK?
8 hours.
8 hours. 2 weekends, which is actually happening September in this quarter. So like GK mentioned, every quarter we do these sessions. So the next session is going to be on September 18th, which actually falls on the weekend. So Saturday, Sunday, 2 hours each. And the following weekend, again, Saturday, Sunday, 2 hours each. So total, you're going to be spending 8 hours. That will get you a lifetime skill to generate cash flow on your own. Very, very simple. And this is absolutely awesome. Raman, Katya, I know you shared that information, right? Into the chats.
Yes, Genevieve. Katya just posted our webinar dates.
Yeah. And I think this, GK, we covered pretty much everything. So I'll just touch upon the 360-degree view of what it is. And then we can actually open for questions and answers, unless, Raja has any questions, Raja and team has any questions. So the 360-degree view is not only we teach and then leave this platform. Every Thursday, we have a call, a Zoom call per se, to kind of getting to know the market insights. That's where we have initiated like a market insights. But there we also, every week, every Thursday, we will be sharing the financial well-being options. Not only financial well-being, a well-being for a family, wealth and health. So that's very, very important. See, that's what I mean. Cash is king, but it's not everything, right? We all know that. So that's why in this Thursday 360-degree view, we actually talk about all the options. And also GK mentioned, okay, what are you going to do with this cash? When you make this cash every week, what are you going to do with this cash? So in my language, I call them as responsibilities and obligations. For any family, a typical vanilla family, wife and husband, 2 children, own a house and going something else. As a vanilla family, you have as a family, you have some responsibilities and some obligations. How are you going to satisfy these things? What options you have? If you follow GK strategies and how much cash you're actually flowing through, and then how you're going to satisfy these things, right? Not only this, we're going to talk about all the options that are available. We invite guests, we invite speakers, and talk about, and also health related, right? Health is wealth, first of all. Before wealth, you got to be really healthy to make things happen. So we're going to talk about all these things in 360-degree view of a life or a financial life every Thursday. But this is available for all those Nunbons who have participated this 8-hour course. So when you actually start these things, get on, register yourself or join the Telegram group and attend the session, go through the 8 hours, understand it, learn, and then Ram and Katya are going to be there for you. I don't have to say 24/7, but they are. I don't know why, that's the power of volunteering. That is the excitement all our volunteers has, right, GK?
Absolutely. Actually, since Katya is also from Andhra, it'll be nice for her to share in her own way, her experience, when it started, because she attended the last live session in person before COVID that I did. That was the last one that I conducted. After that, it's all done by volunteers. So Katya, why don't you share? It'll be very powerful.
Sure, GK. Hello, Chinni. Hello, GK. Andarki namaskaram andi. For those who understand Telugu and for the non-speaking ones, hello and good evening to all of you. Thank you, GK, for the opportunity, for giving me the opportunity to sharing my journey with Nunbon. So as GK said, me, Ram, I think we can say we are the last alumni group kind of who attended the in-person sessions, which GK used to conduct every 6 months as his part of community service. And trust me, everyone, we were like blown away the first 5 minutes, I think, when we attended. He used to travel to work. And in spite of that, on the weekends, he was the first person who would come when the sessions were there before all of us. And then we few of us, we used to open up our homes and GK used to come and then teach the strategies over the 2 weekends. I got introduced to the strategies at a time when I used to work full time. And then I quit my job to spend some time with my son when he entered middle school. And then at a time he started his high school, I was like, okay, it's time to go back to work, make some money, plan for his college. So I was in that kind of a mode. And when somebody told us like, hey, there's this person who's going to do this strategies, I'm like, okay, is this another, and especially living in Dallas, we get so many invites to these investment groups, calls where people have ideas. I'm like, okay, it might be something, another pitch where people are going to ask to invest in some real estate or something of the sort. And then we thought, okay, no matter what, it's an opportunity, somebody is taking time, let's listen. No harm in listening. And it's the first step that we take. If we don't like it, at any point we can choose to drop off. And the first, because we didn't know it was about options or about relating to stock market derivatives or anything. So, and the first 5 minutes, I think, me and my husband Sridhar, we attended together, we were sold. We are like, because we know a lot of people teach something, no matter if they might practice the same. But the first thing that sold us was GK was teaching what he was practicing. So that was the first point that got us sold. And we were fortunate to speak to him and attend and listen to him in person. So the body language, the way he was telling us and sharing information, we knew he is talking what he does in reality. So he wouldn't share, or he's not sharing something which he's telling us, but not doing it on his own account, which is a huge portfolio. So it made sense. Once you'll attend the strategy, y'all will be able to feel that, hopefully. So just take that first step. So, and nobody is going to come back and ask you all if you'll drop off. Why did you drop off? Why are you not continuing? It's totally up to your prerogative whether you'll want to continue or not. Just attend. Knowledge never hurts anyone. And after finishing attending the strategies, and trust me, I was a novice. I've never traded in my life. I've never had a trading account. I never even knew options. There's something called options that existed, which later I got to know. People who do MBA, Masters of Business Administration, there's a subject which is taught to them in MBA. So I never even knew that. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. It's just that time we need to give ourselves, invest for our own benefit. And it's a legacy. Like I taught my son, who is a 11th grader now, but I started when he wasn't 9, so he knows this. It's super powerful, whether no matter they start now or not, but that knowledge and that I think the piece that you know that you have a skill in hand to generate passive income, no matter what kind of situation tomorrow. I speak to so many single moms, working women who use this, whether they're working or not, full-time, use this to generate income. It's a sense of accomplishment. They feel that, hey, I know we are at home, our priorities, whatever. It's nothing wrong staying at home and taking care of the family. But this has given them the chance what they've been looking for to do from the comfort of their homes. And it's just once you get to a point where you're comfortable, it just takes hardly, for me, it's like I can do it in my sleep now. So 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes it takes in the whole week. And I think the core foundation on which the strategy
Did we lose her, Ginny?
Yeah, it looks like.
Looks like it. Yeah, that's a great one. Absolutely, this is awesome. So that means what Katya is saying is that we can retire by giving these strategies to our children. Wow, I love it. So you don't have to do it, huh? Wow, that's awesome. So with that, thank you so much, Katya. Definitely, and Raja and the team. Please, I know it's kind of past 1 hour. Please, open up for the questions and answers. We are more than happy. All our volunteers are more than happy to clarify any questions.
Yeah, Nunbons can raise hands if you have questions.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. GK, as well as Chinni Garu. So I would like to ask any of the participants, if they have any questions, please post it on the group. I can read out the questions, or any of the Nunbon Foundation volunteers can read the questions. Either way is fine. So I have one question here. Does this involve trading options on SPX?
No. SPX is a cash settled instrument, so we don't do anything that is cash settled. We like to own the asset. You cannot own SPX. You can only do options. So we don't trade SPX.
Okay. And the next question is, how much capital is required to get started with this strategy?
Right. So that's why we have there are only 4 assets that we like to own. For S&P 500, you need 45,000 because you need to buy 100 shares, so 45,000. For Russell, it is around 25,000, and NASDAQ 35,000, and Dow is also around that much. So that's why we say that as long as you have 50,000, you can safely generate cash flow for you with 100% consistency.
Okay, thank you. And the next question we have is this in the details you provided, right, in the chat room? So they're asking, is this in person or virtual?
It's all Zoom webinar, and that's the beauty. Let's say we are doing our part to share that this has helped so many people. If you don't like it, you just drop from the Zoom call. We don't care right? Our job is to share the knowledge, and it's in your best interest to learn. But if for some reason it's not your cup of tea, you can always drop.
Okay. So in case some people, if they can't attend some of the sessions, right? Are there any recordings available, like they can watch later, or?
No, due to legal reasons, recordings are not available. We have to, for example, in every webinar, there are a lot of legal disclaimers that we have to do. There are some do's and don'ts that our lawyers have said. So even though we are here to share our knowledge and everything is free, we still have to protect Nunbon Foundation. So that's why everything will be live Zoom webinar.
That makes sense, GK Garu. Thank you very much. And the next one is, are you going to provide any brokerage account, or we can use any brokerage account that we already have?
Correct. No, you can use any brokerage account that you have. Okay. We only teach the steps and the knowledge that can be applied anywhere. But for demo purposes, most of our people use TD Ameritrade, and there is a platform called Thinkorswim. That is because all our demos, we cannot do demo in multiple platforms, so we use one platform. Most of us use that, but if you have E-Trade or any Fidelity, you can do anywhere.
Okay, thank you. And the next question we have is, okay, I think you already answered this one, but I will read out this question if it is different than the other one. On which platform we will be trading? You said, I think we are not trading on any of your the provided platform, so they can trade on any of their own platforms, right? Correct. Whatever wherever they have the account.
Correct.
So is there a minimum guaranteed returns with this approach?
See, as you know, in a financial industry, guarantee word is not used. Okay, so that's why all the disclaimers that are out there is to protect you. When you learn these strategies, you will get the feeling. You will know how, with 100% consistency, you will make money for yourself. Right? Because we don't. So for us, if you ask personally, it's about 1.5 to 4% a month, depending on volatility in the market. And I think Mr. Ratna asked, right? Ratna Prasad, the market is at all-time high. What's going to happen? In our strategies, you will see that when markets drop, we make a lot of money. So that's the beauty of our strategy. So we are waiting for market to drop big time.
Yeah, if I can add a little one more line, Raja, on this. Yeah. Like I mentioned, right? There are two kinds where you can keep your money: savings account, investment. When it comes to, like I mentioned in the beginning of the session, right? When it comes to investment, you don't seek guarantees. You're actually going towards the savings. Savings, you get a guarantee, but you don't get so much money. So that's why always you have to look at it in a perspective that there's both sides. But with GK strategies, the cash is consistent. That is what it is very important to attend the session. You know, if you are able to invest 8 hours of time, 2 hours apart, and that gives you a clear picture of what it is actually. And GK already actually spilled the beans. He already gave you an analogy of owning a real estate, a single family house, $500,000. Your rent is $1,600 per month. What is happening? Irrespective of how the market of the real estate, you are set to get $1,600 every month, right? I don't care if the $500,000 is going to go down to $400K. I'm going to still get the same cash. So that is the perspective that what GK is mentioning. So that is only you get it once you actually join this session, the upcoming session. Yeah, that's what I wanted to just highlight that.
Sure. Thank you, Chinigaru. And the next question we have is, how much average cash flow can we generate from initial months if we put in 50K? Like you said earlier, right? There is no guarantee. Like
we see 1.5% to 4%.
Okay. So how many days we have to keep after initial investment?
You can keep on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. See, the idea is to generate every week cash. or every month cash. The more you keep it, the better it is. Just like owning a house for a long term and let that house generate cash for you.
Okay.
Jik, I wanted to highlight on that 1.5 to 4% seems so low. Is it an annual return or is it a monthly return or what is it?
It's a monthly.
There you go.
Gap.
So Raja, if it is a 4% means 12 fours or 48%.
Annually.
There's a possible, right? Yeah, annual, exactly. So that's what you wanted to. 1.5 to 4% is per month on a return basis. Yeah. So yeah, that's. So
if people are able to generate it themselves with this knowledge, imagine Rajaji, how their life is going to change, right? Today, many people trust their money with others. They give their money to others, and whether their portfolio is going up, down, there are something called fees that are paid. You know, your wealth always goes down, whether you're making money or not, right? So that's why it is our humble service that we are providing to people with the knowledge. We're saying you keep your money with you in your own account, and you can do much better job than many others.
Okay. On the liquidity side, GK, please correct me if I'm wrong. On the liquidity side, it is actually pretty neat. Let's say if you invest in a kind of real estate or a land parcels, right? Your 10,000, 50,000 got stuck until you sell it, but you cannot sell it because it's long term, right? But whereas this one, you make a cash flow in case if you need cash. You can liquidation is super simple and pretty fast.
Yeah, within few
right,
seconds.
GK?
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, few seconds, exactly.
Yeah, it's like a bank, your own bank.
Yeah.
And the next question is it a continuous investment?
Yeah, see, if I go back to my own story, back in 2001, I was a developer. Then I was making somewhat, right, that every developers make. But as I grew in my career, my salary also increased in IT. So my wife and I decided to put all our savings into our brokerage account. So it's a continuous investment that you're making, because we knew 1.5% of 100,000 is one amount, but same 1.5% of 1 million is going to be higher dollars. So once you start believing in this strategy, I'm telling you, you will put all your money into this so that the cash flow that is coming every month will be more dollars, and then you get to enjoy your life.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And the next question we have is, can I do this approach with funds in IRA accounts?
Yes. Oh, that is the best, actually. Right? IRA is the best because you don't have to pay taxes. Since our strategies are weekly and monthly, it's a short-term returns. So if you do it in IRA, it's the best. It will grow tax-free, and particularly Roth IRA is splendid. So people should convert their traditional IRA to Roth IRA, and just for 1 year, yeah, there will be some extra taxes and extra penalty, but after that, lifelong, no taxes.
And this is where, Raja, this is where we help give all the information through professionals in a 360-degree view every Thursday. Right. Just not, okay, we let you actually make a cash flow and then be on your own. It's a journey. It's a life journey with Nunbons. It's an amazing journey.
Yeah.
We all work as a community. We are all helping each other. So Mr. Raja, see, you may be a big expert in land. You can come back to our platform and educate people on how to buy land, how to develop it. So we provide that. So you're getting access to 100,000 people. You can come and talk about your ideas, your knowledge. It's all about knowledge sharing.
Yeah, it's like sharing the knowledge, whatever is proven for yourself. So you can share with somebody so they can benefit from that.
Exactly. And we want it to be completely free, no strings attached. So that people can make their own decision. We don't want to make decision for them.
Yeah.
So just want to add here, this is Ram, GK. Can I take a few minutes?
Yeah, please, Ram.
Yeah. So not only that, we do in trading in US market, Raja, we do help a lot of Nunbons in Indian market as well. We have a separate Telegram group where thousands of followers, they follow GK strategy, applying the GK strategy. in India market as well.
Yeah.
So we after the training in the US market is done, which is a mandatory for all of us to go through to understand the main core strategy. Then we have a 1 weekend session where our volunteer Raghu, who's a senior volunteer who has a 25 years of experience in US and India, he does the training for India market. So which is again a phenomenal strategy out there. Lot of people that like they use this money in India market to help their parents, like in the sense not to pay them every month for their monthly wages or something. They put in this strategy, and that consistent cash flow, it takes care of themselves. So it is a great way of doing it. Actually, a lot of people do charity as well. Whatever money they get out of this strategy, they use it for a noble cause as well. And we have a Telegram group, and I've just posted the Telegram group. Katya has posted it. So once you all attend, once you all join the Telegram group, there are thousands of people right now for waiting to attend the September webinar. So that is done. Following 2 weeks after that, maybe month of October, we'll have the strategy for India market as well.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah. And I'm not sure how much time we have here. We can continue 10 more minutes. I see a lot of questions, lot more questions.
Sure.
But if anybody, if your question is not answered, please post your question in the WhatsApp group. What we have it already. So Mr. VR Chinni is there in that WhatsApp group. He can answer later when he has some time. So we will continue 10 more minutes and then stop the questions there and wrap up the meeting. So okay. Sorry about that if we are not answering any of your questions, but please post your questions in the WhatsApp group so somebody can answer those. Okay. And the next question, do we need any advanced platform requirements like Think or Swim, etc.? I think you said that that TD Ameritrade, the Think or Swim we can use, right?
We advise to have a margin account with the tier 2 access. So that's all we need. So we don't advise to use the margin money, but we need you to have that margin so that you don't get into trouble when the settlement happens, right? So that is just a prerequisite. If you don't have margin, that's totally fine. But we prefer to have a TD Ameritrade, and all our demos have been done in the TD Ameritrade platform. It is not that we know only TD Ameritrade or our strategy works in TD Ameritrade. It's not that, because TD Ameritrade gives you a leverage, and it has a back testing facility available out there. So people who come to us and get trained, they're always inquisitive, right? Whether the strategy works, or are you guys really walk the talk or something like that, right? So we tell them, you go there and back test it, because there is a facility in TD Ameritrade where you can roll back the data to history date. Historically, you can roll it to a couple of years back or a couple of months back and test the strategy whether it worked in the past or not.
Okay. But a lot of people also use Robinhood. Is that also can they use it, or?
Yes. Yeah, they can use any platform.
Okay. And the next question is, go ahead.
As long as that platform allows them to do the steps that we teach. Right. So Robinhood is good for individual stocks and cryptocurrency, but when it comes to advanced derivatives, we have to see.
Yeah. Okay. So will we get any material for reference after attending the session?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a wonderful PDF document available for our strategy. And then I wanted to add one more point highlighted here. We have recordings of the demo after the strategy is being taught in the sessions. So people can go back and look at the demos and fast forward it or rewind it, and they can do it on their own pace to understand better. Because those are shared to the group, those are shared to the people who attend our sessions. Only the content or the main course is not shared due to the legal stuff, as GK explained earlier. But there are recordings, and there are wonderful Google Drive materials available, like a cheat sheet, and then PDFs, and then a lot of stuff there actually.
Yeah, that's completely free. Yeah, that's good and nice to know. Does this involve buying options?
Predominantly, we are on the sell side, because we are here to get cash from somebody 100% of the time. The consistency we are all on the sell side, but we do some buy as well. But once you attend our sessions, you'll get everything.
If you miss session, when is the next one?
Sorry, Raja Garu, you're breaking. Chini, did you hear the question?
No,
Oh, okay.
I got
Yeah,
I got the same.
If we miss the session, when will be the next one?
Next quarter.
Okay, great question. See, the reason we do every quarterly, because the quantum of the work our volunteers, our team has to go through is it's a Himalayan task, because 10 hours now it's not 10 hours. Every session is 3 hours we do, so which is 2 weekends of 4 sessions we do, which is almost 12 to 13 hours. We do that on the weekend, and then followed by that we have a hand holding, like every day morning at 8:30 when the market opens. As GK said, we do the demo on the TD Trade platform to illustrate our strategy, to demonstrate how the strategy works and how to do. Basically, we handhold, and we hold the Nunbon's hand very, very closely, and then we show them how to trade basically. So we do twice a day during the market hours, and then evenings we have a Q&A sessions. That is where a lot of questions people ask, and we answer those questions. So in 10 days, we have that roadshow. So people, it's going to be repetitive, but still we would like to answer the questions again and again to make them comfortable and confident, right? Because it's their hard-earned money. We don't want to just like that, hey, this is a strategy, this is a PDF, you guys do it on yourself, right? No, still it's all do-it-yourself strategy, but we do that hand-holding, and we make sure that they become confident and comfortable. And after these guys graduate, we have a core group where all GK strategy followers are in that group, where thousands of people, as GK was saying, who all went live with our strategy. They're all part of the Telegram group, and we add you to that group. Once you follow our strategy, once you go live with our strategy, we do such kind of hand-holding as well.
Yeah, sure.
So Raja, simple and first step is to register and join the Telegram group, and then from there, they're going to know everything, every step of the process until they get everything.
Yeah, sure. And what are the charges associated?
Completely free. You don't pay anything to us, because it's your account, it's your money. You pay only the commission to the TD Trade or the brokerage.
Yeah. So is it futures that will be trading?
We don't do futures.
Okay. And I think you already answered this question, minimum investment and how much the projected return. What's the average time we are?
Sorry, it's echoing. Can you repeat your question?
What is the average time we are expected to spend on trading weekly?
Okay. Chinigaru, you can take that question, because I know you are also a novice investor, and even now you said like what is bear and what is bull market, right? How long does it take?
Yeah. So the answer is I know JK mentioned 1 hour per week. Usually it's 15 minutes is enough for you to finish your weekly tasks. But the reason is we all have brains, right? We all have a thinking power, but you follow the 15-minute is enough to follow the step by step. As you use it, you get your own thinking process. So that way you may be able to, or you may want to spend a little bit more time on a weekly basis so that you get optimized results. But 15 minutes minimum is enough on a weekly basis to follow these steps to have your own cash flow.
And remember one thing, that 15 minutes is enough for a $50,000 account or a $5 million account. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Strategy is scalable, and
same steps.
Super easy. It's very mechanical. You don't have to look for indicators, or you don't look for any gurus or something like that. It's super easy, super simple, made it easy, available to all at all ages.
Okay. And I think you already answered this question, but they're asking, the question is, what is the minimum amount we need to keep investing per month?
You don't have to invest every month. It's see, if you have money sitting in your bank account idle, right? Say 25,000, 30,000. Most of the people have it in the IRA account, or somewhere they might have kept it, parked it somewhere, right? So see, the minimum would be, I would say, we do only on indexes, as GK was saying, only indexes. Our strategy, we are applying our strategies on indexes, because the consistency, and then because of the 100% return we are looking at it. So minimum would be whichever indexes you are choosing. In case of IWM, you have to spend 22,000 or 23,000 as of today. Probably then if you want to do SPY as S&P 500, then you need to do double. So you need to spend double. That's all. The thing is, there are people who started with me last year, trading strategy with, stock market. So there is nothing wrong in individual stock doing this, but fundamentally we don't, our trainings don't advocate, or we don't market anything to 2-to-1 stock, because the stock you are doing can go to zero. Like overnight, it won't happen, but kind of it can happen, right? And indexes, what we are talking about, the S&P 500, it's a 32 trillion market. Even though there is a market gyrations, market tanks, couple of weeks or something, it's corrections will happen always, but we don't care about it. It comes back, it bounces back. So our portfolio is very, very, very much safeguarded out there. So that's why we do it on the indexes.
Yeah. And the next question we have is, when can we expect to break even on our initial investment based on past experience?
There is nothing break even, right? Because you start our strategy, you see the cash flow immediate. It's instantaneous. Okay. You see the cash flow. So it's very instantaneous, so there is nothing called break even or something, when market tanks, obviously it's not only your portfolio goes down, all the portfolio in the market goes down, right? So, but in our case, the specialty is when market tanks, when there is a panic in the market, our strategy works super good. Actually, you make tons of money out there.
Okay.
Yeah. On that other perspective, Raja, this is what we mentioned, like GK mentioned, it's the average return is 1.5% to 4%, right? On a monthly basis. That means 18% annuals all the way to 48%. So if you're really looking at a rule of 72, how many months based on the 48% rate of return to the max, you say. So how many months is going to take, how many years is going to take double your money? That means you put $50,000 and your breaking even is you want to cash out for $50,000. That way you are $50,000 here, you already took your cash out, which is $50,000. That's break even. In that perspective, it's a rule of 72. Based on what is the average money you're making on a monthly basis. If it's a 48%, in 2 years, your money is out.
Yeah.
And then all the money is left for you to play for lifetime. Okay. So that's how you wanted to, think about. Yeah. So these are the things I share in the, 360-degree view. And this, Raja, I know this is so overwhelming. I myself, I'm getting so many questions. I'm sure we're not going to be able to answer any of these, but we are extremely sorry that it's not that we don't want to answer all these. We wanted to take care of every question, but like you mentioned, either WhatsApp or either Telegram group, we will actually, explain, give all the details, whatever we can possibly.
Yeah, Chinni Garu, so quick thing, right? I have like 30 more questions here, 30 more messages, but I will post this chat in the WhatsApp group, or I will send you a document with the chat. Maybe when you have some free time, right? You just spend some time and then answer those questions and post it in the group. That would be very nice. So whoever joins in the Telegram group and join the session, so maybe you guys are going to answer anyway. But for beginners and who wants to join and before they want to know something, please answer these questions. I will post it in WhatsApp group, or I will send it to you directly, the document. So you prepare those answers and then post it in the group so everybody will be aware of it.
Absolutely. There is no one simple thing, one simple answer for any question is there is nothing that can stop you to follow these strategies. You may have can I do Roth IRA? Can I do IRA? Can I do my own money? Can I borrow money? No, there is nothing can stop you unless you don't want to do it. That's a simple answer, but there are so many questions. We will definitely clarify, in the process.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. GK, as well as Chinni Garu, as well as all Nunbon Foundation volunteers. And I would like to thank once again, to entire TANA leadership for providing this opportunity for the community to get some awareness about all these things. And I am very happy to invite you, both of you, GK Garu and as well as Chinni Garu. So thank you very much, and looking forward to working with you guys in near future and on TANA platform. And we will do more sessions on different things going forward. Okay, thank you all the participants who joined today, and hope you guys take something away from this session and you learned something. And thank you very much all the participants who joined today. Thank you, and once again, thank you everyone. Bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
अरे वो तो किशोर है नहीं अच्छा किशोर अलग है, हाँ मिस्टर जी भी है उसमें।
कौन है बट किशोर?